will really set up, the rest of the picks, I feel, and, we'll have to see who gets what, and if we see sometimes some champions get swapped across. So at least now being banned, they don't want to deal with that anymore, and Tabe, understandably, is going to be really valuing that Thresh pick.
Yep. We're probably going to be seeing a Zac, I'd expect, coming here out of IG. Obviously, Elise and Jace not in the mix there, so we've also got Ezreal up on the board, of course, Kid on his Ezreal. We saw him first pick at last game. Ezreal's not too bad into Thresh in terms of a duo lane either, but we've actually got a Nunu picked up there for Invictus Gaming, and Kid, he's thinking about the Vayne. He could actually take Vayne away from Uzi, because Uzi's actually always been playing the Vayne, so that wouldn't be a bad pick either, and of course would work with that Nunu pick, so that is what they lock in. I really like that coming out of IG. We're going to be seeing a jungle Nunu, and of course Uzi when Vayne's not on the table. You don't need to be a genius to figure out Uzi is definitely 100% of the time going to be on that Caitlyn.
He really does value that Caitlyn pick as well, and Kid's Vayne is just terrifying. I expected to see perhaps a bit more of it, actually, than we did in those first two games, but now he will be taking that one away, and consider that Ezreal as well. We was thinking about it, but the last game maybe not made the impact that he wanted to, and Nunu, obviously, as you said, has been banned those last two games, and now, with the Elise ban coming in, that is opening Nunu up, so, Whites is going to take that Kennen as well, hovering over the Zed, should I say, here for Royal as well, and they will pick him up.
Yeah, so far, Royal's got, comp. Obviously they've got that dive from the Kennen. The dive will counter-initiate, if you will, and that Zed is going to be really useful in assassinating Kid or any other high-priority targets on IG's side. So far, IG, thinking about the Ahri, actually, that wouldn't be a bad pick here. Yugata, it's kind of hovering over that Shen. I'm not sure if he'll lock that in. And now he's kind of switched over to Javelin. So I like the Ahri pick here that IG might lock in, although Zatai, of course, on his Orianna is extremely strong as well. So pretty fearsome looking lineup from both of these teams so far. Zatai on his Comfort Orianna, Yugata, we've seen him on Javelin before, and it's looking pretty good for them.
Yeah, that's right. And now that Kha'Zix is not really picked or banned at all after the changes that were made to him, you honestly see Zatai gravitate towards it. I think he wouldn't have minded grabbing that Zed there, but Orianna obviously is just super, super strong as well. Combining that with the Cataclysm and the Absolute Zero, again, as expected, a lot of AoE wombo. And as I say that Kha'Zix isn't valued, we might see that picked up here. I doubt it. I really do. I feel like Uzi will want that Caitlyn, and then NASA's getting picked. So, it's funny that one ban on Elise, taking her away from both junglers now has opened things right up. Yugata is going to be taking that jump to the top lane. Wasn't a big impact, I don't feel, in that first game. Wasn't a great deal of split pushing going on. It was more of a defensive tanky initiation role. So we'll have to see now. And of course, Xiaxia does love a bit of Lulu.
Oh, he does. Xiaxia's Lulu is pretty big. He can definitely make the plays with it, and I like the Lulu pick against Royal side. Royal, they do have quite a bit of pushing potential. With obviously that jungle Nasus, the Caitlyn, and to a lesser extent, I suppose, the other three picks on their side. They can definitely push down towers if they want to. So taking Lulu, obviously Lulu got a bit of wave clear in that queue, so not a bad pick for a Vayne lane either. Of course, Xiaoxia's going to be picking that one up, and there we are. We've got both teams locked in, and it's going to be an interesting battle. Obviously, Zatai, we've seen him play Orianna, and with Zed taken away from him, I'm interested to see how well Whites will do on the Zed that typically is being played by Zatai.
There are these few sort of mid-champions that are really valued right now. Karthus, Zed, Orianna. Kha'Zix used to be, but now not so much anymore. And Ahri. Okay, so those champs have really sort of been the ones people are going for. We do see Gragas occasionally pop up, and a very, very scary pick in the right hands as well. But these mid lane picks do not surprise me as well. The Uzi Caitlyn doesn't surprise me. I think Nasus is always a good tool in Lucky's hands. As I said, very, very good push with the Spirit Fire. His Wither is fantastic at shutting down those enemy AD carries in those fights. So it'll be interesting to see how that pick plays into things here. Obviously, we're going to see the new jungle coming out. So quite different lineups here. Now, Godlike is going to take away that Kennen instead of the Zac here. Be interested to see how he goes with the harassment onto Jarvan. I feel like Kennen has the advantage there, though I have seen a lot of Jarvans play well. Jarvan has that early game damage. Martial Cadence really hurts on that first hit. It does quite a considerable amount of damage, but he hasn't been overly impactful so far. Last game was probably not one he'd be overly proud of. So now obviously he needs to try and use that Jarvan to its fullest extent as well. But White's, very White's is that Zed. Very, very aggressive, very assassin-y. It doesn't shock me a great deal to see that being picked up for Royal.
Yeah, that's right there. So we're just getting into the game now, guys. And, of course, this is Game 3 between Royal and IG. And I think we may even, once the clock hits 15 seconds, we may even jump 15 seconds back so we can get rid of all of those pesky spectator bugs.
Yeah, that's right. We'll try and sort out our syncing issues as well. It's a little bit difficult, and it has been quite difficult. So I'm going to duck back now.
Yep,
go back 15 seconds. So about 7 seconds, 8 seconds into the game. So we want to make sure that obviously you guys can see as much as you can. There's buffering. I think there's some kind of even some spectator buffering that can happen as well. We are in Australia here, all right? So we're casting this from Australia. We're not in Shanghai, so our ping is fairly considerable over to these servers. So we've just got to make sure that we can make it as robust, and hopefully you guys, we can make sure it's definitely a watchable quality, even outside of us shouting frenetically here. So right now, Royal Club heavily positioning over towards the top side of the map here. They're in that river bush, and that kind of makes me think they want some red buff action. Lucky, they're going to lead out of that bush very early on as well, so it might be even just for a bit of a deeper ward, just to get a bit of an idea of the movements of Illusion on Nunu as well. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some fairly those boots have been picked up from Nunu. So Xiao. This happens so much to the poor guy. I can't beat up on Xiao Xiao a little bit, but he gets caught out and he dies a lot. So now, obviously, first blood going out over to the side of Royal, and that was in the hands of Uzi as well. What a crucial kill going across to them now. And we'll see if Royal are going to nest here, or maybe they'll back off. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Tabe, he did start, all wards, so he's still got those 2 pink wards available to him, and we can already see that, fantastic ward coverage that he's managed to get around this red buff area going towards IG's mid lane. So it's pretty good for them at the moment. In the meantime, Illusion Kid down there, they may try for a little bit of early counter jungling with that jungle Nunu. I mean, Illusion, I suppose he does need the blue buff though, so... no, he doesn't. I was lying. So he's going to be taking that red.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to take whatever he can, I guess. He's picked up those boots because, of course, we all know Nunu doesn't need that machete. So 4 players from IG going for this one as well. And they're not trading buffs here. Royal are actually backing right off. So with Royal, I guess they might have to duck straight across. They may have set the wards in place just so they can quite get an easy take there. White has already set himself up in mid lane. He'll be joined by Z-Tie in just a moment. So that red going to go over fairly quickly there to Illusion. He's going to cross over as well. I'd be interested to see where Lucky goes here. He probably, he probably wants to head topside. Everyone's sort of showing up in their lanes, and unsurprisingly, we are seeing the lane swap here out of the Caitlyn Thresh lane. You did say they've got some serious push potential now, and they're going to be laning up against Yugotto on Jarvan.
Yeah, that's right, and it looks like Lucky is going to be going straight towards Invictus Gaming's red, and I'd probably expect maybe once he's taken that to, for him to rotate up into the top lane, maybe help Uzi and Tabe really put some pressure up on that tower. We've actually already got the pings there onto him, so we'll see. We'll have a wait and see whether that is what Lucky decides to do. In the meantime, Illusion just down there stealing a few raids.
That's right, they're effectively zoning off Yugotto in the top lane. He's still only level 1. Will soon tick over. But yeah, Illusion, got to be that annoying Nunu. Wow, so much damage. Oh, Yugotto gets Tabe! And that was from the tower aggro as well. Very, very poorly, coordinated assault there. And Yugotto is going to be rubbing his hands together because that is not what Royal want to happen there. Losing Tabe and giving that kill over to Yugotto on Jarvan from really what can be said was just some poor positioning and poor trading of turret aggro.
Yeah, exactly there. I mean, Tabe only level 2, not going to be able to take too many turret hits. Stack an ignite from Yugotto on top of that, and he was gone. And that's actually really, really important because if Royal, if this top lane kind of slows down enough so the Royal maybe take a few extra waves of creeps to get that tower down, then that is going to be very important, very helpful to IG while that stays up.
Alright, so Illusion went very, very deep there and put an Ice Blast on the Godlike to completely zone him away from his tower. So tower's going to be traded pretty quickly. Yugotto goes on to Uzi yet again. Got it going very, very low, but Lucky still soaking up some of that damage. Oh, you got it! Uzi wants to chase on here. Great turret aggro there, going straight onto Lucky. Lucky's still alive. That was measured to the very centimetre, the way that aggro was traded, and Uzi will pick up that kill. They will get a tower. So despite losing Tabo early on, Royal, their aggression and their tenacity staying in the top lane is going to allow them to trade towers at pretty much the same time as IG.
Yeah, that's right. Nice bit of play there from Royal, taking out that kill on the tower. In the meantime, of course, Xiao and Kid, like we talked about, Lulu, not too bad at pushing either, you could say, and they've taken down that bottom tower as well against Godlike, which is, pretty fair effort, of course. We had Lucky up in the top lane, so he wasn't going to be helping Godlike down there in the bot to clear any waves. So
yeah, I mean, we saw Illusion wander down there and really just completely zone Godlike off there.
Yeah.
So obviously, his presence has got the boost of speed on Nunu as well, so he can be everywhere, just be the annoying Getty, that he's known to be. So now Z-Tai low on mana here in the mid lane, and White was able to put a fair bit of damage back onto him there. So White's going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable now that Z-Tai's mana pool is heavily depleted. Pings over on the Dragon, of course, Nunu. It could be a 5-minute Dragon attempt here, and a good one as well. We saw the lane swap from Royal to top, so they don't have the AD carry and support in position to contest this. However, they're shoving straight down mid lane as well. I'm going to try and get some damage onto this tower. The objectives are being valued highly, and that's something we didn't used to see so much in Chinese League of Legends, but now, especially after All-Stars, it's definitely a big deal for them. So Dragon going down early, as you like, for the side of IG, but Royal are going to get some free damage onto that mid tower.
yeah, that's right, and that's actually very much in favour as we see the engage.
Yes, the White goes low, and Illusion goes straight to the back there. We're going to see the Flag and Drag. Lucky drops down there. That kill goes over to Xiao. So very, very good at stealing kills is that support player there. White's going to have to back right away there. So, I guess, Royal caught a little bit too deep. So IG be happy with that one. Not only do they get the Dragon, they managed to save their tower and get a kill onto Royal. So this game is going to be very much a seesaw affair, as we have seen in the past. Ugoto's gone back to base as well, picked up some items. So everyone's starting to buy up on their first buy. They're going to return to their lanes.
Yeah, that's right. And it's interesting seeing a sort of more objective-focused game than we've seen in the last two games. Obviously, we've seen so much action in the last two, but this is a different sort of action having in Game 3 of this best of three. Lots of towers being taken by both of these teams here, and IG actually doing a nice job at saving their mid tower. That's not going to be dropping anytime soon with three members there. So looks like Uzi on Kalen, he's doing what he does best, just continuing to push. He's already 2-0 with 40 CS as well, and just reminds me I will quickly organise all those champs. So.
Okay, so obviously the headshot proc going out onto Z-Tai, but easily shielded off there with Command Protect. Illusion just going to duck on through there, maybe just be annoying, as he tends to do, but the push is good there. Uzi managing to get out for the 90 cal net, but was slowed up there by that dissonance pings in the mid lane. Ugoto's just farming fairly safely down bot, and White's is doing the same in the top lane, so we may see both those champions take on a bit more of a split push oriented role later on in the game, but that heavily depends on how our mid game evolves here. So, only about a 900 gold in it. 1 tower apiece, 2 kills each. No real scrapping early on here. Usually we saw about 10 kills by this time in the last few games. But heavy warding coming out here and a bit more careful play coming out from both teams. Yeah,
exactly. And, we've got lots of wards coming out, from IG. They've got this sort of area of the river ward. In the meantime, Xiao, he's just kind of wandering around. Royal, I meant to say, and IG now is starting to get those wards up, doesn't quite have that map control at the moment. So in the meantime, down the bot lane.
Yeah, here we go. You got to win a bit of trouble here. Tubber going to fly him back, but Uzi went low. Very, very low to that, and a complete miss on the death sentence means Ugoto's going to be able to back away fairly easily in the top lane. Kid and Xiao just going to try and shove the one back, so there's no real help for Ugoto here, but he's looking healthy. He's chugging some pots down, and he's going to be okay to fight another day.
That's right there. So we've actually got Tabe there, kind of moving on towards the Dragon area. He's going to be fine. Tabe actually gets that pink ward up at the Dragon, which should be respawning fairly, in a few minutes, I should say. It was about a 5-minute Dragon. So Illusion on this, on this jungle nerd, he's really been making that pick work so far. And of course, being on the 3.9 patch, Nunu's not quite as strong as he was in 3.8, but still very viable pick like we're seeing here.
Alright, White's going to just continue to clear those waves, and only a little bit behind in CS. No real CS disparities at all over the map. So teams very, very evenly matched. Xiao and Kid putting a fair bit of pressure onto this top turret here, and the same happening in the bottom lane as well with Uzi and Tabe. So they're just, they're trying to even the score in terms of those, keep the score even, should I say, in terms of those turrets. Xiao going to take a bit of a tower here. We're going to back away. Both teams, Lucky now appearing in the bot lane as well, getting that Spirit Fire down, really trying to shove it. And we might see Illusion come here as well to try and help out Ugotto. So a lot of positioning, a lot of resources are being, dedicated to trying to take and protect these towers, respectively. So that top tower will drop there. Kid Chow Chow make it happen. And that bot tower a little bit behind there. So, IG feeling pretty good about that one. And Kid Chow Chow are going to continue the push.
Yeah, that's right there. So in the meantime, Royal and Royal just pushing down this bottom tower. So I mean, one more wave should be all that they need to take this down, and it's obviously going to even up the towers 2-2. And it's interesting actually, as we see up in the top lane, Godlike there doesn't quite manage to dodge the slow, but in terms of both of these teams, who benefits more? I suppose the question is from getting these early objectives, getting these early towers, and gotta say, whilst Raw's team is sort of built for it, I feel as though IG's team comp, they've got a lot of team fight potential. In Kid, in Zatai, they can definitely do very well in team fights. Whereas I feel as though Raw slightly more towards pushing.
Xiao Xiao brazenly walking in the mid lane there, right in front of Whites. And 3 clear position from IG, going to try and keep that lane pushed in while Illusion heads bot side, because that's right, Ztai's heading back for some items and adds that chalice and I think some boots as well there to the repertoire. So you're going to have a bit more sustain there. And Whites, if you think about the way they've been training, Whites has been doing well to keep up and hasn't taken a great deal of harassment as well. And we're not seeing him sort of itemizing heavily for MR either. So, he'd be pretty happy with that lane so far, especially with the harassment that Oriana can put down.
Yeah, that's right there. So, I mean, IG at the moment, and they've lost both their outer towers, as have Royal, I should say, and it's pretty much dead even in terms of most things. Gold 1.1, a little bit over 1k in favour of IG at the moment, but that's nothing too crazy. They're going to be pushing down this middle tower now and getting lots of damage on them.
Hard to separate all of these two teams. The Descends goes on the Kid. We're going to see the barrier straight away. The Shockwave, the Slicing Maelstrom. Kid goes down. Godlike tries to flash over the wall for that one, but that one goes over to Whites. It's just the one kill on opening of the team. Oh, we're going to see the flag and drag. Ugotto wants a bit of Godlike. The box comes up as well. Tabe and Lucky trying to back on out of that one. Godlike poking in from the sides as well. Kid is going to be back very, very shortly. But their mid tower for IG is very, very low. In fact, both are, fairly low. I think Dragon might be available briefly as well. Pings were going down on the pit earlier on here. Both teams going to back away. And I think Royal satisfied with that little trade.
Yeah, definitely there. I mean, Kid just kind of took a few too many hits onto that tower there and really paid for it there. But in the meantime, IG looking to pick up their second dragon of the game now, and that will be pretty much uncontested. We do not have Lucky anywhere near. He's just back at base. Has picked up that Spirit of the Ancient Golem there, so going to be a little bit tankier, obviously. Nice early pickup, something which you'd expect on on that Nasus jungle. Nothing too crazy there.
In a game where these teams are trading towers, just like the cards you would swap at school, the pressure that you put on objectives like Dragon is very, very important to give you the edge in terms of gold.
Yes,
global gold. For your team, Ace and Hole going to come out to soften up Ztai here because Royal want to take this tower, and they're pretty much going to have it here. I don't think there's much that IG can do about it.
Oh, the flash hog!
Ztai gets caught up in that one. We do see the Royal go down. Going to knock Ztai up. Oh, great little shockwave there. And Uzi's going to pick up onto Ztai, though. Xiao Xiao trying to back away. And that was Xiao Xiao that picked up Whites as well. It's a Xiao Xiao again with 2 kills when no one else has any. Oh, a wild Jarvan comes out of nowhere. Got to get the Cataclysm down onto Godlike. Godlike going to try and lightning rush away from that one. Kid gets played in. Uzi makes that one a double there. Xiao Xiao got to back right away. And Royal were all over in that team fight. Very well initiated and played by them. They might even have position to be taking away another tower. No, we're going to see a little bit of damage coming out there from Absolute Zero. Perhaps just trying to zone some people off that tower. But Royal want this tower so badly. They know how much advantage is going to give them in position. Lucky's going to take some auto attacks from Illusion all day. We're going to see Ztai try and rush back Gogo Gadget. Royal want this tower.
Oh, look at this Raw there, not giving up on anything there, but that was a fantastic set of plays there by Tabe that led to those few picks and really did lead to that tower for Royal. So now they lead in towers 4-2. So it's given them, that's sort of even up the gold lead as well. Not quite in their favour, but it's pretty much dead even now. And I feel as though IG, they're pretty much going to get this middle tower for free, unless we see some home guards coming out of Royal. But that's probably not going to happen, as Uzi there going into the mid lane, he's not too healthy.
Yeah, they're going to try and take it. I think, though, Royal will have the people here to defend this. There's not much IG can do about it. in terms of trying to shove those waves down really, really quickly. So yeah, as I said, great trade. You know, that is the middle, outer, and inner turret down. Yeah, and if you think about it in terms of objectives, it's just all good news right now for Royal. They have that corridor completely, out, but and that gives them just so much more control now over the jungle, because both outer turrets for IG are down in the top and bot lanes as well. They can start to push through and roam a little bit, and actually, give Illusion a taste of his own medicine as well. We know how much that Nunu likes to roam, but it looks like Royal want to do the same thing, want to try and get it watered up here and take some control, maybe start to close the vice as well, Go Gadget, because we do see Royal, that are sort of roaming around right now. They're just trying to tie up some loose ends and get themselves ready for the next objective they're going to focus. And 14 minutes into the game, it's still fairly early on in terms of Barons. We saw an early Baron, but where do Royal want to go from here to continue to stretch their lead?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, if we take a look in team fights, who would win a team fight 5v5 if, both of these teams sieging a tower, something like that, and the engage happens? I think the answer at the moment, it still could be IG, so Royal have to be careful. In these team fights, that they don't get hit by all of that AoE from Zatai, from Illusion, to a lesser extent there. But Ugoda's going to catch up, Lucky.
That's right, and we do see that White's is kind of caught here. He's going to use his death mark to try and shadow out, but he's getting slowed up by the giant growth on Xiao Xiao. Great use of that Lulu ultimate as well. White's is going to die. That is going to go over the Kid. Godlike's going to drop on the other side as well. Lucky's going to pop the Fury of the Sands. They're doing a fair bit of damage, but Kid's going to come in to try and clean this one up as well. And again, a good turn of events for IG here. Royal went down. They lost 3 here. That was actually a 3-for-none trade. Yeah. And Royal, just some poor positioning there.
That was very messy there by Royal, losing it 3-for-none, like you said. And I know that's going to put IG back in the lead, about 1k gold. Obviously nothing too crazy at the moment, but what it is going to give them is this tower, this middle tower, and potentially if they wanted a little bit of control over Royal's jungle. If we see Xiao Xiao there, doesn't have too many wards on him, but looks like IG just going to back off after that one, and they're looking pretty strong. But yeah, like we said, it's not until I feel as though later on that Royal's going to have an edge in these team fights, because so far, like we've seen, there's so much CC coming out of IG's side. So much, so many shields as well. I mean, we haven't touched on that, but they've got Orianna, they've got that Lulu shield, the wild growth as well. So that's
difference and less than that. Baron obviously is up, of course. But, we see Ugoda and Illusion just sitting tight here in this top bush. We know that Uzi's been trying to put a fair bit of pressure up here in the top lane, and the wards for Uzi only extend to this one sort of here in the brush, right where that Caitlyn has taken away those double golems. So you've got to be careful of overextending.
Oh, down the bot lane.
Uzi being very, very patient. Kid going to flash and trying to chase on a Godlike here. Oh, wow, the final hour is popped as well. Lucky going to try to help out here. The Kid is going to dash away. Kid, I don't know if he wants to fight. He's going to pop the barrier. That Wither is going to time out, and eventually he'll have the chance to start trading. He's got a bit of life steal as well. Fury of the Sands comes out here. Kid's going to try and stay out of that AoE as well. In the top lane as well, Uzi's going to go very, very low. Xiao Xiao's going to make it happen. He's going to get the knock up as well. That one's going to go over to Ugo. And Kid can't quite trade out there with Lucky. Lucky's going to get away. White's going to pick that one up there. Look at all the pings. Everyone wants a piece of Baron, but Illusion's going to start this one off. IG has position right now. Across the map, that was a 2-for-1 fight, should I say. They've got 4 members in position to take Baron. Royal committed 3 players towards the bottom of the map. We're going to see the Dark Passage out to try and speed Lucky up. But I don't even know if Royal have enough players to contest this now. IG are looking quite healthy over on the Baron, and Royal, not so much. That Nasus is down to maybe about 700 health. I don't think they can contest this.
Yeah, IG don't have that much damage. It looks like Tabe's actually going to go in.
Oh wow, Zeke flies over the wall, trying to take on Lucky. Fantastic work, the Baron going so low. The Baron gets picked up by White. It was stolen. Oh no, I saw the Basin. Whoa, calm down. White's though picked up a
slicing Maelstrom.
People starting to freak out a bit here, and Zeke getting into the back lines. Actually, it's just me that's freaking out, let's be honest. But now you've got to win Godlike, you're going to run head to head. White's are still on the edges of this one here. Godlike's going to try and rush away and get that done. So sorry for the false alarm. I saw a lot of action going on. I saw a face that looked like Baron come up on the side there. But as far as that trade was concerned, Royal did very, very well to stifle that attempt there. Oh no! The pulled up a Peacemaker into Ace in the Hole coming out from Uzi Blue. Not enough to seal the deal with Ugoda, but it's going to force him to be from elsewhere and delay him returning. Oh, I'm losing it, Go Gadget.
That was certainly pretty crazy there, Uber, but one thing is for sure, at the end of that, IG, they're definitely going to be very sort of a little bit annoyed. I want to say that they couldn't get that Baron down because Royal, of course, getting in there, Tabe with that death sentence in, could have stopped their dream Baron from happening. So IG, of course, getting back, picking up some items. We haven't got any sort of major items this game picked up on either teams. It's a bit of a low farm game because of all of that objective, sort of focus pushing that we've been seeing on. The CS numbers aren't too high, and that's why we're not seeing too many major items.
No, so except of course for Uzi. Uzi's doing pretty well. We see the IE up there as well, as you may have said. So White's going to take away that blue buff now. And gold, again, very, very close. It's still in the balance. It's, I think, 2.4k gold from my quick permutations there in my head. Baron is still available. A lot of wards on the pit. Yeah. And everyone's sort of too afraid to go and clear them out as well. Tabe and Lucky are roaming. And they are two scary bastards. And they're going to try and obviously stop the guys from IG to get on in there as well. Can we see red taken away there by Kid as well? Be pretty happy with that one. So yeah, a lot of positioning taken up by both teams towards the center of the map and towards Baron. And lanes are, lanes aren't pushing in any sort of concerning direction for either team. So they're just going to take their time, try and get some sort of position, maybe try and bait some sort of fight where they have the advantage. But right now, fairly placid.
Yeah, maybe. And I like what Yagoto's doing here on this Jarvan. He's going for the sort of tanky build, not too damage oriented, but that's even just having that Sunfire cap. If it's a sort of extended fight, then that damage does build up over time. So especially against that double AD comp that Royal has with both the Zed and of course Uzi, who's doing really well on Caitlyn, that's a nice pickup.
Okay, so Yagoto and Zeton now they're trying to punch down the mid here. Illusion to join him on the side. So IG pressuring this outer turret, this inner turret, should I say. And Royal not really in position now. Uzi's going to catch up, going to try and soften Z-Tie up with an ace in the hole there. Wasn't able to truck that damage off, wasn't able to duck down behind anyone as well. Do they want to fight? That's the question. Flag and drag comes out from Yagoto. Oh, the dark passage, and Yagoto manages to get the cataclysm onto Uzi. But now, Godlike gets caught in that spicy maelstrom.
Oh, the hook!
Oh, we got the box straight in the middle of the fight. We're going to see Tabe drop very, very quickly. Xiao low. Kid is also taking a bit of damage here. They got heavily slowed up. Now, Kid doesn't want to duel it out quite yet with Uzi. So we're going to see both teams back on the way, and that was a 1 for none there in favour of... Oh, hello! I thought they were going to back away, but lucky you caught in the middle of this one as well. Nice little shockwave there from Z-Tie. They're going to make that wow, it was a 4 for 1. Looking very, very good. Now, IG, out of nowhere, really turned that one around. It seemed like they were just casually going to push on the tower, and Royal were kind of going to let them and then maybe fight. But that turned around very, very quickly. 4 for 1. IG now to take out this top inner turret.
Yeah, that was a fantastic bit of play there by Z-Tie. Securing those 2 kills instantly onto, I think, Uzi and Godlike up there. So... it looks like for now they're this game's just taking a bit of a break. It's been too much action so far, obviously, Uber. So hopefully that reconnecting bar up there disappears relatively soon. But taking stock of things after all of those fights in the mid lane are all said and done, we've got a 2k or so gold lead.
Whites. Sorry, a bit of a fight in the bot lane. Nothing to write home about. It's just Z-Tie and White's being too aggressive. Back to it.
That's right. Well, unfortunately, we still got the reconnecting bar up top, so who knows what that's all about. Hopefully, it goes down soon, as unfortunately, we cannot see anything much at all at the moment. Oh, there we are. We're all good.
You're back. Oh, we'll have to make sure you're at the right time now for us. So I am 2201.
Yes, that's all good. And apparently we had a Baron.
Yes, we did see Baron get taken away, and it's a very, very risky one from IG as well. You got to drop very, very low, but Whites and Z-Tie got caught up in a bit of a one-on-one fight in that bot lane and actually killed each other, funnily enough, so quite interesting to see that still so very closely matched. Now, Uzi's going to take this top inner turret, so despite IG taking away that Baron, they are going to have to give up that tower for it, and that is going to put Royal in the lead by 2 towers. It's 7-5 now, so all outers, all inners are down for IG.
Yeah, that's right there. So, Lucky, he's going to back off along with the rest of Royal, taking a look at what they've just gone and picked up their Whites with that last whisper. That's very helpful, and we've actually got a nice, I don't want to say early because it's 22 minutes, but a rushed, I want to say, Godlike has picked up that Zhonya's now, so it's going to be very helpful. Last game we saw when Yagoto played that Kennen, he didn't even start building that Zhonya's until much later on. That didn't really work out for him, so I like that pickup of the Zhonya's. It's going to allow Godlike to get in there, stay alive for the duration of that slicing maelstrom at least, and then maybe even get out.
Alright, IG spacing themselves out around the blue buff area here. Z-Tai just going to head to the bot lane and clear that one straight through. Now, Royal trying to set themselves up here. Obviously, yeah, it's 15 kills to 10 and the gold lead still 3k. Only 3k. Baron is on IG. So it's not, these team fights are not unwinnable for Royal. And that's the case when you've got so much of this AoE wombo. You've got to position it sort of in the right area, to guarantee that, the gold lead that you may have is sort of, permeates team fights and actually will swing them in your favor. So it's hard to say at this stage now. Xiao Xiao's got the oracles. Obviously, valuing that quite highly, and we see it very, very early, often, and earlier than this, and we have seen it from Xiao Xiao as well. Some ward clearing duty happening here. Looks like Z-Tai is going to run to White's news. Then we're going to see it yet again. The El Clasico, White's and Z-Tai, but Z-Tai now is going to have to pop the Zonias. Oh, Z-Tai calls for backup here.
He's out of there.
He's going to have to backload. The 80% slow off from the Kalenta. So nasty. White's is going to get condemned into the wall, and that was cheeky. Z-Tai maybe, thought he was baiting White's into, maybe White's thought he was going to be fighting another 1v1. Gentleman's battle. Slap the gauntlet over the face of Whites, and then another 3 players from IG appear out of nowhere. And now IG have used that to take away another turret here. So they're starting to even things up in terms of that architecture. It's going to be 7-6 now. A lot of presence for IG in this bot lane, and another 20 seconds before Whites comes back.
Yeah, that's right there. So Lucian just taking a little bit of harass from that ace in the hole from Yuzi, and they're definitely going to be looking to clear out this waves, but Yagona's going to go in.
Oh, well, the giant growth and you've got a massive knock up there as well. Tabe, you've got like he's going to be caught in straight into that shockwave as well. Tabe going to go very, very low. You've got to copy a bit of tower damage as well. Lucky is angry, and he's got the Fury in the stands popped as well. Lucian's going to go for a full channel of absolute zero. That is nasty. What a great fight for IG. That was a 1 for 3. They're going to take away this inhibitor turret. Uzi chasing on the White's not far behind as well. IG realised they probably can't actually take that turret, so quickly. They need to be a little bit more careful about the way they work on this one. Uzi and White's know that they can only work on the momentum. Of them running out of base, trying to catch some stragglers here. So they're going to take away that inhibitor as well. And IG played that very, very well for the last 5 minutes, starting from that very, very cheeky little baited 1v1 into taking that inhibitor. Very, very well played.
Yeah, that's right there. I mean, that initiate from Yagoda, it was very brave, but it worked out so well for them. Obviously, with that Baron buff, that just sealed the deal in terms of the team fight. And like we talked about, Royal, in terms of their 5-on-5, they don't quite have as much utility in their comp. And I suppose CC to a lesser extent than IG. And really showed that last fight with, that amazing, flag toss combo from Yagoda, followed up by the knockup by Xiao Xiao. Zatai followed that one up again with that shockwave, and, that was almost the end of it then for Royal.
Exactly right. So now, turrets are even. Gold lead is looking pretty good now. It's 7k in favour of IG. We're looking pretty strong heading into the rest of this game, of course. Let's have a look at the items here, because we're starting to get to that point in the game where we are getting very close to 6 build. Again, IG really valuing that double lock of the Iron Solari. We're seeing that on them, but sort of, again, Royal not heading that direction at all.
Yeah, no, obviously, IG's team comp, they've got a lot of shields. I mean, they've got... like I said, one on Jarvan, one on Nunu, and all of the other shields from Zatai, Xiaojia, everyone like that. But yeah, Royal at the moment, they've got lots of sort of offensive focused builds. So damage focused, obviously with Uzi on that, Caitlyn hasn't opted to go for any defensive item yet. Probably wouldn't expect him to. And we've also got Whites on that Zed. Very, very offensive build there as well. So.
Okay, well. Position near the mid lane here for IG. Xiao Xiao continuing to clear some wards. But doesn't want to get caught out, as I know he tends to do fairly often now. Yagoda's just going to push that top lane in as well. Tanky initiator that he is. Now, and that giant growth onto him was so crucial in that last team fight as well. It forced pretty much an instant Zhonya's straight out of Godlike. But now IG shoving down here. They're going to try and take away this inhibitor turret. They won't get it for free. Well, they may actually, because Godlike's way out of position. Obviously, with that inhibitor down, we're going to see Ace in the hole do attempt to soften up Z-Tai, but Z-Tai's got so many shields on. Saw Shirelli is there as well, and they're going to take away this turret fairly well, scot-free. Now, can they find? That's the question. Will they back on the way? Lucky's in the middle of them right now. The Lucky gets polymorph. Oh, the flag and drag goes straight into Godlike. Godlike does force the Johnny's. Fantastic little shockwave gets pulled in there as well. White's going low. White's going very low. White's going to be able to get out with a bit of his health. Is he? No! And we are going to see a little funny reconnect bar above my screen, which kind of means that the game's close to being finished now. We do see Uzi trying to get out of the fight here, trying to get back to the fountain, but so much pressure being applied by IG here now. Lucky Going to go take a lot of damage, but sitting on the fountain stairs now. IG are going to shove in. That was a massive fight. It was a 4-for-1 fight. My game is lagging out, and that means, guys, don't freak out. That means that the game is over. So there's not much more to say. IG shoving in there off that fight. Lucky somehow found himself in the middle of them all, and that was really the catalyst for IG taking that one out.
Yeah, GG to IG. They're taking this best of 3 series in this semi-final of IEM Shanghai League of Legends, and we've seen IG in both of the games they've won so far. Uber, they looked a little bit shaky early on. They sort of gave up those free kills. They were down in gold, but later on in these team fights, IG just has such good communication, evidently, and really do know how to play them, especially with these comps that they're picking. And at the end there, that lead that they sort of snowballed up to at